Hi everyone, I'm artist Clara Stokolosa. I saw this wonderful show at the Queens Historical Society Museum. So fortunate enough to get a private tour. It is open to the public, but you must make a reservation and wear your mask. This is the brochure. It was such a fantastic show, just really wonderful. It was so exciting to see. So check it out, and here's a preview to it. I hope you enjoy. And I also got the pleasure of having a tour of their other shows, so stay tuned.
Welcome! Good morning! Thank you for coming to Kingsland Homestead Queens Historical Society. I'm Branka Duknik, the Executive Director of Queens Historical Society. We're going to give you a quick tour of Kingsland Homestead, and this is our Education and Outreach Coordinator, Jaren Halfcock. We're going to start talking about different exhibitions that we have here. They're seasonal, meaning they either last half a year or a year long, depending on a grant or funding. And then we do satellite exhibitions across the borough. We do exhibitions in places like actually JFK Airport, LaGuardia. We do different educational programs for children, youth, and adults. During COVID, we've managed to do a wide variety of virtual programs through Zoom, Google Meets. They were all free for the public, also in different languages, in Spanish and Mandarin, and the latest edition is Korean. So today, we'll start with one of our temporary exhibitions, which is an exhibition on Jaxon, an African-American fashion designer from Queens. Actually, he was from St. Albans, Jamaica in general, and we wanted to highlight his work. He was actually more prominent in France, mostly in the Parisian scene in 1960s and 1970s. He is a Hunter College graduate, and he was lucky enough to receive some funding to go to Paris, and he worked for Givenchy and basically all the sort of high fashion houses that you'll see in this exhibition, as well as some music that kind of resonates on the time when Jaxon was at his top of his career.
Jaxon originally was not super happy with his home life. He feuded with his father frequently and ended up growing up a lot of his life with a family friend. Once Jay went into college, he actually started off pursuing a law degree. And so after he kind of was inspired to do costume design after taking a course, he was featured in a magazine and then continued to pursue costume making with kind of various different fashion styles of the time period.
Is this one of his pieces here with the green, white, and black dress?
Yes. It's a tricolor
Oh, there
dress.
we go. Okay, yeah.
Rachel Fenderson has taken some time to really highlight Jackson's contributions and find his name in various different magazines. She takes great effort to point them out because one of the key things about Jaxon is that his legacy would otherwise have been forgotten because he was kind of pushed aside.
Hello, and we have Maria here, who's a board member.
Good morning, everyone. This is the point I wanted to make. When I came to the opening of the exhibit, I had not seen any of the photos before. When I looked around, I said, wait, did he just design all these outfits yesterday?
They're timeless.
And
Yes.
what really
Timeless.
struck me was what you just pointed out. We refer to that as a color block dress. From the very first time I saw these photos, was I was struck by how fresh that I would wear these designs today. They're timeless.
Gorgeous.
And so classic.
The French fashion houses didn't ignore it. I believe it's Jean-Louis Cherrier.
Jean-Louis Cherrier, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, can you say that again? It sounds so good.
Yeah, Jean-Louis Cherrier. I don't know if I'm
Oh, but it sounds very French.
He was hired on as one of the assistant designers and became the first black designer to work at a fashion house, but also was the first American at a fashion house. So here you can see some of his catalog exhibitions. It's both in English and in French. Sometimes Jaxon would be credited for his works, though other times he would be excluded from these works, especially in retrospective catalog. And so that's contributed to the erasure of this designer. Over in here is one of the catalogs that he was left out of. He's not even mentioned in that timeline. So after he was a designer in France, he eventually grew tired of the racism that he continued to experience in France and decided to come back to America, specifically New York, so he could start his own label. But here we have two examples of his work. These are vests done for his partner, Lloyd. So you can see pictures of him actually wearing this
Beautiful.
vest. You can see the attention to detail to all of the stitching and the nice bold colors. Jay Jaxon really liked strong colors. You can see that throughout all of his work. Here you can see his New York label attempts where he's trying to kind of make it on his own. You can see he's being featured in various different fashion magazines, and you can see his label appearing in various different department stores. And then he's also doing work, costume work for various different productions and Broadway. Here's an example of some of his Broadway work.
I love this. Oh, look at this. Oh my God, I love this.
This is around the time when he also starts heading out to California, to Hollywood, where he can expand his work. But there was a period of time where he actually kind of quit the fashion industry because he was just kind of fed up with it, and he continued his law and business degree. So over here you can see his work with Hollywood connections. Actually did the outfits for Thelma Houston's dress that she wore when she met the Pope. And also you can see Salem the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh my God.
He designed the custom little suits that he
That's
would wear.
hysterical. Oh, yeah.
So Jay Jaxon continued to work in the Hollywood scene for a little while longer up until he started getting sick, and in 2006 he succumbed to cancer. He's survived by his life partner Lloyd. Lloyd was a huge resource for learning more about Jay Jaxon, and since Jay Jaxon had kept his portfolio, Lloyd was able to give that to Rachel Fenderson for her to do her research.
That's
and so they have
fantastic.
primary resources that are surprisingly complete for all of Jay Jaxon's work, because if you try searching for Jay Jaxon, a lot of times you're not going to find a whole lot because of errors in transcription or just being left off of the records.
Wow. I mean, I can't believe this wonderful show is in this wonderful little house in the middle of Flushing.
Oh, of course.
It's just a gem dropped down. Thank you. Thank you for the tour.